Boys, what is up? Today we are going to be watching day 2's, aka finals of today we're watching finals of FNCS Trio. Let's get into this. Let's see who's going to win after this ad. I hope.
Good to see everything's okay in here.
I like your shield.
I like yours too.
American Family Insurance.
NCS major finals.
All right.
Seeing them take out a veteran trio.
So this is a brand new match.
As well is quite impressive. We'll see if they're able to do it again here, though. As Haris is looking for some connections with the SMG, but as Skavia's already been cracked, the pressure has been put onto him. And so far it is just kind of angles back and forth, but a Seaport.
Ooh, Mirstash.
Mirstash, Queasy, Swizzy.
Mirstash might take him down. Oh, that's a great play.
Queasy got dropped down to just a sliver of HP, but it doesn't matter as long as they got that Elim.
The main thing here is that none of them were knocked, so considering that it's now Momsy just fleeing for any semblance of saving his life here, there probably won't be as much third party taking place because teams are going to notice, okay, that fight was cleaned up a little bit too quickly. They're likely going to have a massive advantage with themselves in Seaport. It's better to just rotate.
You want to know what else is massive?
Taking a look.
Low taper fade.
No eliminations on the board yet. Zero materials to work with as the fight has kind of unfolded a little more here, but that quick knock is going to be just enough to give them the advantage.
Chris gets a kill on
2v1. Teeny needing
CD.
to connect one shot, and just like that, it's going to be 1-1 here at Shogun Solitude.
Should hopefully be able to get that reboot off in time, but still have to think about those third-party opportunities. It'd be nice to see one of them looking to kind of keep tabs on scoping the landscape surrounding them or feeding into Shogun Solitude. That seems to be the intent from Teeny. Wants to make sure that Svi's reboot goes off uninterrupted.
Yeah, we did see third parties come through, but hopefully they should be good. As we look back over to Lost Lake with Cammy, Seti, Hari. I mean, they made it to the end game in the last match. Didn't get top 3, top 5, but it was an improvement, a significant one from yesterday's matches. And even though they don't have a lot of loot, or as we look back over to Lost Lake with Cammy, Seti, all of them are up and running. Hari. I mean, they made it to the end game in the last match. Didn't get top 3, top 5, but it was an improvement, a significant one from yesterday's matches. And even though they don't have a lot of loot, or as we look back over to Lost Lake,
they're going to be encountering teams.
Pollo is in the lead by a whole lot. I think he has like 400, 300 points.
It's going to be very difficult, I think, for Cammy and Seti and Hari to make something of it, but X-Force F9, Robin, this is a very familiar fight here at Magic Mosses.
Yeah, the patience came through. They looked for that
Clicks.
Unfortunately, though, I think they just landed a singular.
Click should win this, but I don't know. Maybe he will, maybe he will. Pollo definitely.
As the tags have followed through, it might actually be enough to just corner themselves here. As for 9, X-Force and Ravon are not done pushing. They continue to get on in. Looks like even a potential pre-edit coming through as the triple spray continues. Water sprite on the ground, back and forths. I'm thinking this might even end in a soft engagement. As X-Force has to be careful. He gets fully knocked. For 9 as well. Just shots away as he goes down.
He goes down. He goes down.
Potentially just one shot more.
Alley for.
This is a world of danger for X-Force and his trio. Noms, Gripey, Rizoi turning this fight around.
No. Just an underground battle. Duking it out, but Noms, Rizoi,
he only has 42 points, but
we've already got knock. We've already got the Elim. You know that there's going to be no other result other than a full-on key charge here. Eyedrop Sky, Scroll, continuing to make their presence known on these southern sections of the map. They love making these early rotates from Rolling Blossoms Farm, putting pressure onto teams.
So it's
are
only first zone
trying
right
to
now.
essentially prevent themselves from getting cleaned up super early on. Janice, Chap, and Noah Riley had a relatively difficult day one. We saw there are instances where we thought that they were going to have crazy pop-offs, and they did towards the end of yesterday, but you want to make sure that you are repeating that consistently.
Yeah, that's the thing about having 12 matches to be played out. In terms of iDrop Sky Scroll, what they're consistently doing are looking for those third parties. It looks like maybe it was earlier, but at least not now. They didn't go over to Seaport. Normally that Seaport third party is literally like a minute 30 seconds after they drop. But with Queasy having finished that fight off so early on, it looks like they're just at Mask Meadows looking for a bit more
Frizzies.
damage. And Frizzy, Lucia, Rakuza, which is Starkus, had a rough start to the previous match, but it looks like they were at least able to get a bit of damage in this engagement. We'll see if it continues on later as we head back over to Veno, Vico, and Flixie. We're getting a bit more fraggy here in the early to mid game.
Yeah, Veno's team taking notice of what's been going down at Lost Lake, and they want a part of it. Vico just immediately editing Vipra into his box. That is so tragic. There's nowhere left to run. But two big eliminations this early on, Takada. And depending on how
I
these
mean,
zones favor
Clicks,
yesterday, we did
he's not top 5
zones. If I'm not mistaken,
right now, but
at least 5 of them were leaning that direction. So knowing that it might be a little bit more favorable for them if the zones continue to pull northern like they did in Game 7, that could be a real runaway opportunity here in Day 2.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully. We did what was interesting, only see a couple of eliminations from them off until like what, the second or third moving, but then they turned a couple into 15. So as long as just able to get to those late games with a good amount of loot, mats, damage, everything you need kind of from that checklist, then hopefully we can see them continue to frag out. And also, hey, shout out to Pix, Bemis, and Darm. I mean, starting off Game 7, the first game of Day 2, still on fire with the amount of aggression we saw in that late game. Hopefully they're able to keep it up, because these could be contenders of not only breaking records, but making history, as Ju now has lost Shark. And that's going to leave it up to him and his duo to try and get out of this situation against what most likely is iDrop, Sky, and Scroll. But no,
I think we wait for NA Central.
Gotta be Yanis. Gotta be careful. The pressure's on them. Water Sprite coming through, but you hear the Typhoon Blade. It's dangerous. It means I want to go in your box. As the knock's gonna come through. One more player left to be eliminated by Yanis and Chat, but are they gonna continue pushing? Do they want to get a bit of a disengagement? Doesn't matter. The double pump comes through.
Because
And she gets knocked
NAC
down.
has Clicks and all of those
Definitely not
guys.
what Ju is anticipating on the other end. of
We're
that
going to
wall here, but
PT
Janus,
stream.
he's still just stuck trying to fend for himself.
And I'm gonna see
Picked off
if he's
third-party success so far from Pixovsky's trio. They lied and waited for so long in that southern portion of the map. And
Okay,
now
so
it's
I
paying
would-
off dividends
okay,
here
we're gonna
because
watch this
they've
for a
got
while.
solo
Yeah, we're gonna watch it
isolating
till like
Giannis, nowhere left to run.
1.
Fully out of material to begin with, and Pixovsky just fully benefiting, fully ready to start actually moving forward.
I mean, doing what they could. Or, well, Yanis was doing what he could to survive, but when you got 3 players playing full aggro onto you, it's only a matter of time. Pixie, Vanya,
How do you
Marius,
get this off my screen?
hopefully able to make something happen here in Game 8. Not the best start to the day, but with 2 eliminations on the board already.
Oh, we missed 7.
For this trio.
We missed
so
game
far.
7.
I think the higher hopes conversation.
So they're going
is
on to
largely
Marius
just stemming from
and
the
his
fact that you have
trio,
to remember this is one of our
Pixie,
teams that just barely
Vinyak,
scraped by to being in the major
solo
round in the first place,
trioing.
but if you
Pollo,
just catch any of their action through that last
when he
chance
plays,
qualifier, I mean, they
people are saying he's getting carried
massive
because
entry
he has,
points. 3 of the
cause
first matches they played
he's
being
not doing a lot of
Victory
solo
Royales, a
runs.
format that was exclusively dependent on
But
Victory Royales in order to
excuse
win
me,
here.
but
And
do you
yet,
really have to
throughout the
be
course of this major one finals, Takada,
doing
we have
solo
yet
runs to
see
be
them win a
considered
game.
good?
We know that they have the firepower capabilities, but the fact of the matter is they just haven't managed to connect it all the way through.
just shows the difference of
Yeah, they're
playing
gonna
in
break it
groups, and
down.
you can see major finals as I drop Sky and Scroller looking for a chop here. A potential opening for some shots on the trio up above. Have they pre-placed the Orni masks? Hopefully they have, because if not, it's a world of danger for them as Sky continues to find an angle here. Gotta be careful, as now eyes are gonna be on them from all the trios in the surrounding area, but all they need is a bit of damage, even a knock, to give them that entry point.
Oh, the
Continue
toe
pressing
shot.
forwards. Shot coming through, but nothing big connecting yet.
Couple of tags onto Marvik's legs, but Sky knows. Just want to stay on layer above. Scroll also gonna make sure to try and take over, but height completely cut off from him. Other teams still surrounding the area by Lost Lake just refuse to allow Scroll, Eyedrop, and Sky that leverage, because it's gonna be Radion and Rax for Dodge. The Italians holding them steady, not going to allow this actual full Vox fight to take place either. Sky, Scroll, they know.
So,
let's just disengage.
the thing about Storm Surge Towers is the team usually in this season, they usually have
Half of a Sapphire
Oni
fight is
mask.
gonna be
Because in order to have a surge,
enough to withstand
you're going
a
to get
little
broken
longer. I
down
mean,
there at
how
some
central
point.
they are as well in terms of
And
the
you also
surrounding
have to
amount of trios
rotate.
around them. There should be more opportunities here to find those tags as they continue to make use of their time refarming builds from POIs or just previous structures. As we look back at Vico, Veno, Flixi. What's going on over here?
Just clearing out the area. They've got great bush coverage as is, just natural map environment doing them a solid here, but Vico, Flixi, Veno, they're definitely still hunting. They notice some bases off in the distance, so they're trying to make sure that they keep a wall constantly blocking off that angle from other teams to try and take advantage of it. But
That's a good play,
the way
blocking
that
off the
Shogun's
wall.
arena is just coming into our viewpoint, Takata. This team has one thing in mind, and it is tackling Shoguns for sure.
Already marked on the map. Vico just saying, hey, you know, we're taking a little bit too much time here, guys. Let's clear the bushes in front of us, make sure we've got a direct path, and try and make something happen as this appears. But it's going to
Mongrel,
be Pacer,
Pacer,
under
Panzer,
challenge
sorry.
as well. Will they make
Did
a
Mr.
play
Savage
for it, though,
die?
is what I'm wondering.
Don't forget
They
about
know.
Queasy.
Yeah, they know what's about to happen. As it looks like Swizzy on the opposite end. You said it yourself. Queasy and his trio want this. Nefrizzy wants it as well. We got a lot of trios contesting it this time around.
A lot of action taking place shortly here on top of Shogun's Arena. Veno's team will at least make use of some of these barrels lying around, but more importantly still, they can never feel comfortable. Whether or not they recognize the fact that it's Queasy trio, you can probably get a good read on the fact that there's just more than one team up here with us, and until at least one of them gets pushed down, at the very least though, they're not caught between. So the sandwich taking place potentially for Lucia is a really difficult position to be in, because getting off the island is next to impossible, especially when you've got two teams full of sharpshooters.
Maybe you won't want to get off the island anytime soon, though, because due to the zone, I mean, I'd say there's a decent chance that this island actually does pull towards the later zones in the match. So,
I
they
mean,
might be
this
able to use
match
that
is
to their
definitely
favor, But the
contested.
issue is now, you know, getting aggression from the Shogun boss is going to cause a world of chaos around any trio that gets it. So, in the meantime, it is just going to be look for tags and kind of wait for an opening if they ever do want to try and take on that boss with the other trios around.
Shogun just waiting for an opponent, waiting for an enemy. Imagine somebody accidentally manages to crossfire him in the process of looking for tags on the others, but Swizzy just keeping steady tabs right now on Vico and Flixi. It is nice though, all of the valuable resources, the material that's actually provided, and like, obviously the viewpoint as well from being so far up in comparison to the rest of the lobby. Mongrel and Panzer specifically are going to need to be really careful in that surge base, because
Oh,
Queasy knows
he didn't
exactly
die.
where
Mongrel
they're at.
didn't. I mean,
I love the
Mr.
angles
Savage
that
didn't
Merstax has
die.
taken too, under the ramp edits, trying to just close as much off as possible to keep themselves safe and secure, plus the leveling openings on the opponents rotating through, but it seems like the zone is pulling further away from this Rift Island, so Shogun's Arena is going to get started here. The battle is going to commence for the boss fight. But who's going to end up taking it?
Right now, it seems to be in favor of Swizzy and Merstash. They're trying to prevent any tags coming out of Vico's team so that the Shogun doesn't teleport over to their side as well. They want to limit its movements as much as possible. Savage still having to be incredibly wary, not just of the team up on the Shogun's Arena, but also the teams
Savage.
directly surrounding his area. Teams that are trying to cross over into the zone.
Chat, is Savage the
From the
most
southern sections up towards Edge.
mechanical player?
It's pulling just a little
in this
bit over
tournament?
Twinkle Terrace.
Oh, they gotta use the Surge Tower.
They've got ample amounts of damage.
Please type in chat if you're watching.
They're not in a rush necessarily.
Yeah, but maybe there's some trios by them that are, and those are the ones they want to capitalize on, but the Onimasters are going to come through as Flixie has gotten into a fight. Said,
Oh,
"I'm gonna give you this show
wait.
for free."
I drop.
Sky and
I
Squirrel
drop.
joining the party as they are 131 above, looking to see.
He only has 13 builds though.
Flixie got knocked, it seems, on the feed. I think Vico or Veno as well. Looking
Yeah, I would
not
probably
too great for
jump
leading
down
trio
from
so
there.
as Vico seems
but-
to be the only player standing so far. And iDrop might have just found him.
Replay.
The Danes just heisted Shogun's Arena.
Yeah, that was a good tag.
Veno never saw it coming. He was so fixated on Queasy's team that he didn't have an opportunity to actually defend himself there.
I mean, he definitely overpeaked that.
More importantly, still, they might have that Shogun.
Put down a
Valley
girl.
Takada, but what
Alright.
they don't have is Matt's teams continuing to collapse directly underneath.
Just
this
12th
arena,
zone?
And now it's going to come down to whether or not Queasy Merstash even let them leave the island.
Gotta be careful with the shots.
Ooh, Mirstrash with the peace control.
To a sliver of HP as he's trying to run away.
Oh,
Johnny
iDrop might be
Depp
dead.
in the storm as well.
iDrop might be dead, chat.
It's a two-tick. Merstash, Swizzy, Queasy, are they going to let this one slide? Are they going to try and finish it off quickly? That's the decision they have to make. There's so many trios directly below them that are going to be looking back at this island. It's not going to be a simple rotate. You have a full trio in front of you that originally wanted to fight you, and now it's going to continue as cracks are going to come through, but no full...
Mirstash is definitely holding island. Unless those three teams come straight at him. Those three players come straight at him and get some good damage on him. But Swizzy and his team are controlling right now.
But they need to get off the island. They don't want to get caught up for much longer than what they need to. iDrop's team, they could look to just try and hold inside the edge of zone if they beat them there, which, by the looks of things, they're definitely in a much better position loadout-wise.
iDrop might want to. iDrop and his team might want to put Atlantic. iDrop Atlantic. They probably want. They would probably want to move up for it so that they get zone first. Because right now they're trapped and being storm held.
And his trio, they have waited long enough, but now they really have to hit their shots on all the trios.
Oh, Sky.
But Sky has already been knocked down to the storm. Malibuka knows this now as he's got the knock. They can choose to just play aggressive here and take them out.
Oh, Malibuka might just come up there and
Swizzy
kill
weren't
him.
able to get close enough in time. iDrop, Sky, Scroll, forced to make their way closer. Scroll on the other side of the wall is the only healthy one realistically from this trio, and it's not even by much. Merstash nearly managed to find a big shot onto him, but Scroll's gonna keep looking.
Oh,
The
Scroll's-
right side peek tag one more time from behind.
Scroll that.
Looking to just try and
Ooh,
break down
he's
into the
dead.
boxes.
He's dead.
Wind tunnel's working against him,
Mirstash
so
is
is
gonna
Surge.
get him. He's dead.
Can't let them take damage here. They
Yep.
drop Sky and Scroll.
They let him take as much damage as they want, and his team goes down.
Merstash, Swizzy, Queasy, get the medallion, get prime positioning on the island, the triple refresh, and now
Ah, but they gotta rotate.
close out the rest of this match.
Gotta rotate up here.
Merstash with that medallion too is definitely a frightening sight. Vico all the
Oh,
while
Vico.
is
Is he playing Halo?
held outside
Oh,
the
he's getting.
zone.
I think he's getting zone
The
held.
odds of him being able to build up placement from this position is so heavily against him, but he might be able to make something work. We all know Biko is definitely capable of picking up frags in clutch situations. It's just
Oh.
everything kind of stems, and the future of the zone just gracing him there.
Marius, on the other end of his build, had a similar plan in mind. As now they're kind of roommates here down below the bridge. As more players come through, and one of the teams is going to be Merstash, Swizzy, and Queasy.
Oh, that team. I mean, I would definitely watch out for Mirstash, because now he has the medallion that'll make you invisible if you run. Marius definitely can get a few tags, but Mirstash wins this.
Chicho and Trollex definitely trying to get involved in the action underneath that bridge. Uppull as well. Gantry, Fincheck, another one of our teams. Considered a bit of a dark horse, bit of an up-and-comer scenario. And they've had a pretty solid performance stemming out of day one. They even moved themselves up a couple of places after match 7.
Oh.
To be in the top 5, but Fincheck, he's got to defend it now.
Vincheck.
Blaha, Mixon on the other end. But currently,
Oh, Storm. Stormster just taking them.
Yeah, it's looking like a fighting angle. You can't get tags when you're 308 before. You got to get on in here. Shotgun shots connected, even a pre-edit, anything to play aggressive onto Blaha and Mixon, but Cammy Seti taking shots from the
One
side.
Opal.
The eyes are on them now.
EPO.
Gets knocked down. Uppo, it's all up to him as the shots come through, but his teammate explodes right in front of him. Gets the refresh. 87 of
I think Mr. Savage wins this, though.
With just a little bit of damage above the threshold.
He's at least still got Contri with him, though, so maybe they'll get a chance to kind of squirm their way through that low ground. Teeny Svi, though, they are feeling the pressure. Surge continuing to just tick away at their HP bars. Chino not gonna get the chance.
Oh, Teeny's 1 HP, bro. He's 1 tap.
He's just so low. Teams bound to scat out the fact that this is a weekend.
They're trying
That's what he
to
needed, though.
scattering.
He needed that damage. It's exactly what he got now. Just a bit of time to pop those big shields and regroup with his team. They're ahead of zone. This could be good. All they have to do is recuperate what they lost, but Haris doesn't have any heals. Teeny just had a couple bigs. I don't even know what Skavi has. This is looking...
Oh, they're attacking Malakabuga. I just can't talk. Malakabuga. I'm just gonna say Malik.
Rotating in as they still do need more damage.
They'll likely have to forfeit front side of that low ground. Healthier teams
Oh.
are going to have it in their sights. Vanya, Pixie, Marius still dealing with the likes of Surge as well. 7 below. A singular shot is all that separates them from the ability to have time to think about where they want to trek next. They're still making it work, just 15 above now currently, but they need to TP ahead. Teams already establishing themselves on height are going to shut them down if they don't make it the front side soon.
Haris has lost his team, now left alone. Is going to recuperate what he can, but with the Oni mask coming through, 30 HP.
Malakabuga is Malakabuga is definitely running the lobby, but it looks like Mr. Savage might win.
Position. Now it's all about claiming space, blocking off the others, and what a surprise! It's Queasy, it's Merstash, it's Swizzy once again claiming the high ground.
Yeah, they're just letting him get high. I mean, come on. If he were locked in, he wouldn't try. Especially if he has the invis, then you don't want him to get high. He could just jump down on you.
Doesn't want anyone to recognize him. Malabuka, big tag from behind. Not enough though to even draw his shields. Pixie now gonna keep trying to keep his intention towards height. Merstash even gonna play a little bit of disruption factor here, make them reconsider if they actually want to have those floors open above them. And Merstash tagging teams as they continue to try to move frontwards.
You called it out. It's a red flag. Only wood on
Oh,
the
Mr. Savage.
Free pickings for the opposing trio.
Oh,
Saying
Mr.
these
Savage
guys
almost
have a lot of
died.
mats. We can maybe even contest it, and
Panzer.
that's exactly what Mr. Savage, Mongrel, and Panzer had in mind. With 47 builds, a bit more hard match, they might just be able to successfully overthrow this.
Savage won a game yesterday. Savage trying to win another one here today. Marius just trying to keep
Yeah, Savage won
moving his
yesterday.
way forward. He is so
This is
with all these other teams. Pixie though, what a massive
Which one
shot.
is
That
this? I
refresh
think
gonna
this
buy him
is-
a little bit more time onto the likes of Chicho.
This is Europe.
Still, they have to tank, bit of storm here. They know they can't be the first ones in, but that pull back saving them.
Huge as they now don't have to continue with the rotation, just wait and go on backwards. Merstash though popping his minis to just recuperate that little bit of shield back, as now the aggression is going to go out to Marius. They connect one shot, not enough to get the knock though. Good news is Merstash does have that medallion, but high ground, it's getting contested once again.
And Savage, he doesn't have the HP to continue the fight. He's been knocked. Pixovsky's
No,
team
no.
looking to
Savage.
Savage knows he just lost.
Savage
Longo.
dead.
He's gonna be forced to drop here instead.
Savage.
Nom's gonna catch
Savage
him
is
on
dead,
that
bro.
rotation
Storm.
out. Spotted the fact
Cause
that
Storm
it's
is
a solo
Tintic.
Malabuka
It's about
really
it.
walks
This
up
is
and still
final
fully
zone.
intact trio. Decent
Whoa.
amount of mats, and they continue to control the low ground.
This is final zone.
It's Cammy, it's Seti, it's Harry, all from
Cammy,
yesterday
Seti,
getting
and Cherry.
annihilated to now the comeback in
Oh.
day 2. Everything's
Knobs
going
took
for them
down,
after Merstash goes down. Knobs, Gripey doing what they can to hold low, but there's still more players down below.
There's Malabuka ping and walks just on the other side of these walls. That was who their real contenders were going to be for this low ground all along. You can hear the feet stomping all around. Malabuka might have the angle, but Eclipse looking to get involved.
That's a solo looking in for a battle of 2 duos and a trio. Malabuka trying to find another angle to stay ahead. He needs to find an opening onto Eclipse here. They need to get him out of the match. The shots come through. Trying to play a bit defensive, but Wox is going to hit a massive
Wox.
Nom's taking him out. Eclipse still is up. They're stuck in the dirt now. They have to find a way up, but on top of them, it's going to be Cammy. It's going to be Seti. It's going to be Harry just waiting for them.
This is huge, though. Malabuka, Wox, and Ping. They've still got to deal with the likes of Bull and
Oh.
Ping underneath. Hari,
Oh, Hari.
Massive engage. This is so favorable. This is the massive game that we were expecting to see yesterday, and now Hari trying to bring it to life.
Got the water sprites, can play this one defensively. Malabuka looking like the last.
Yeah, they're
player
gonna
left
have
in
to play
zone. He
this
hears the
heal
chug
off.
splashes coming through. Looking around, the shot gets
Oh my gosh, Hari won.
Hari, Cammy, Seti are gonna be able to close out this 8th match of the day.
That is
Despite how awful things
awesome.
looked at the start of this game 8 here at Takata, Cammy, Seti, and Hari finally reign true and showcase exactly why everybody would have had this team in a more favorable position heading on
Mr.
to
Savage
yesterday, but
had a good match,
every
but
turret is
he kind of
alive.
flopped at the
I'm not
end
gonna
and
say
got
it's
killed.
yet, but it's there. We have signs of life from our Polish team.
It's looking promising from getting annihilated off spawn yesterday to now changing things up a little bit. They're going out of their drop spot with not a lot of loot, but somehow, Taco, somehow, even though they don't have a lot of
It's a
loot,
good shot.
don't have a good kind of start to their game, they're still able to close it out and get that victory royale, which is exactly what matters. So, Frankie, you gotta let me know if I missed anything.
I think you've just about covered it. A fantastic commentary from you guys. Congratulations to Cammy, Seti and Shari. I've always called them since joining this desk the day 2 team. And yes, we don't have the 1.5 times multiplier, but they're still showing up and showing what they can do on day 2. But interestingly, as Takata just said, these guys, they had to leave Lost Lake early. We thought that was probably the last we'd seen of them. And yet there they were in the endgame 11, taking it by force.
Absolutely taking it by force. A different type though, right, than what we've seen from them maybe in the past. I will say it's nice to see them finally.
Yeah,
announce
but that was a
themselves
great
to the
match.
region here. See us over this game. Hari again showcasing why they wanted to pick this guy up. The talent showing us some nice little peaks and then some good movement there, especially at the end. In this nice little swing to the right, so Malabuka can't do nothing about it. Good win, and yeah, I guess it's just good to finally see them do something.
I'd almost agree with you. Like, this has so much troubles off spawn. Game whatsoever. It's like how good this team are, how good they can be. As you mentioned, Hari there in the end there with the most amount of eliminations in that team. Could this be the catalyst now? Could this be the moment where they can kind of pick things up? I really hope so. I think, you know, where we may have thought they were going to be at the beginning of the weekend is well out of sight now, but they can make something of this. They can try and make a decent performance after this.
Welcome to the Major 1 finals. Cammy, Seti and Hari will be talking about them and plenty more about brilliant trios after this break.
Dang it. Bro, this kid just hits numbers. Bro lost the game.
Lisa, I got all your forms. I'll take it from here.
You have your taken. Now this is active. Y'all can go out for our sheriff.
No clumps.
Gotta eat some greens.
Come on, broccoli. I'm trying to get the green on price. Price is giving me $50 $5 lineup. That's quick. It's quiche.
Whole team. Prize picks. Run your game. Return the stolen Butterfingers. Or walk the plank. Ooh. No one lays a finger on your Butterfinger. Ever.
Great deal on the new one. For the kill you look best out right. Buy online or select
I'm reporting this kid.
Life's better when your dreams are protected under our roof.
Good to see everything's okay in here.
I like your shield.
I like yours too.
American Family Insurance.
Before then. So why don't we break down what happened in game number 8, boys, by looking at the standings and seeing how they've impacted things. Because Cammy, Seti and Cherry, they might have just taken the victory royale, but we won't see them on page number 1, Mini, because they didn't have the best start on day 1 of the finals.
No, that's definitely not the case at all. They didn't have a very good start at all. 19th place for this team. Really, really nice for them. Boosting their way up. This is exactly what we know that they can do. Nice victory route from them. That was probably the most messy game we've seen in terms of high ground takes, so they were able to sort of take advantage of that really well. But I'm just looking at this sort of top 5 right now. Look at how close it is. Vico then and Flixie went down very early there. 18th place, so they didn't get any placement points there, and that's why their points haven't gone up too much. But look at that ping. Wox Malabuka closing in really closely right now, and it's all down to this game right here. 11 really nicely played. A second place, of course, in the end, and I mean, wow, this is exactly what I expected from this team, and I'm really glad that they're starting day 2 with a plum right now.
The standings are so volatile, but it's good to see these guys rising. Because when I was doing my VOD reviewing and research going into this final, the one thing I loved about this team is that they very much remind me of like Malabuka and Mustache way back in the day in duos, where like you just don't want to be on the same layer as these guys in mid-game, or in the end-game, sorry. Like they're just a nightmare to play against, and you give them the opportunity, they are going to make your game, make your life so difficult. And again, if they can keep playing like keep putting them in those situations in the end-game, they're going to cause havoc in this lobby. They're going to keep rising in those standards and give Benedict Flixie a good run for their money.
And just a reminder, if you missed yesterday's pre-show, Minimine actually predicted Malabuka's trio to take the Axiom Champions, whereas 11 put them as the runner-up because 11 actually put Vico, Benno and Flixie. So the two of you are looking like your competition is going to be the fiercest game that we just saw, because there was a lot of focus on the island this time. We had 3 parties going at it. One of them, yeah, even more than that, but as you can see though, Levin, in fact, you know what, go to see, tell me what happened.
Yeah, so look at already this is very different to what we were seeing on the island the first day, right? And it's something that I was waiting to see if it would happen, because for any of our NA enjoyers watching the show right now, you would have noticed that there were a couple games on NA that didn't look like this, right? Where you have a lot more teams on the island, different teams claiming certain islands, and in this game there was about 4 or 5 different teams that were up here at some point. iDrop's team eventually go up here, they end up getting a big beam onto Veno, they take him down, they push Veno Vico Flixie, take them out of the game, but there's still no one Surge. Frizzy's trio was like, I don't want any problems in this. Like, there's way too many people up here. This is not what we signed up for. They dropped down. Queasy, Mustache, and Swizzy though waited for the perfect timing. They waited. They knew if they played a long game, they were gonna win it out. And I think mini now we're gonna see the island look like that in a lot more of these games, especially on some of those northern pools. I think we're gonna see 4 or 5 different teams up there.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's going to be less of that sort of path to victory now that more teams are going up there. We saw it with Queasy, as you mentioned. They, of course, ended up being the team that managed to claim the island. But what happened when they took high? They didn't have the materials to hold on to because they were battling it out with all the other teams that were up there. So now, once that was the island that was the sort of easy win condition for these teams, get up there, make sure you save all those materials. Now you have to fight for that position. And that, of course, expends so much of that material and that ammo that you were saving from doing it previously. So that's why Queasy's team didn't quite have as good of a day there. But I'm excited to see how this island dynamic changes now throughout the rest of the day.
Levin, what does this mean for Veno, Vico, and Flixie's game plan? Because we saw them rotate it early. They didn't go for the medallion that went to Mustache in the end. I'm just wondering, given that it was such a key part of their game plan in day 1, do you think that's going to change today?
No, I think they just need to be a bit more aware and play the long game a bit and realize that realistically they can handle anyone in a fight. They just can't give early damage away like they did to iDrop's trio.
All right, well, everything's to play for the Acts of Champions, but also the island itself. So let's head into game number 9 and let the showdown begin.
Thank you, Frankie. So many things to keep in mind. Island battles, off-spawn engagements continuing forwards. I mean, we had Cammy, Seti, and Harry who came out, I mean, basically in shambles from their drop spot and ended up winning the whole match. So going into game 9, Taco, I don't know what to expect.
Yeah, it's just really impressive how teams are able to essentially find themselves or put themselves into those winning positions despite what might look like a relatively scuffed early game. So Shogun's
yeah, this was a really tough.
Here, I think for me, as far as our top 5 teams are concerned, and we'll get into the action now with game 9.
Oh.
Nini, Skavi, and Haris have had a bit of trouble at Shogun's arena. The good news is, in the last match, they were able to come out on top. Looking at the bus path, too, it is going to be a quick battle, having the bus landing so close. But for Lost Lake, we'll have to see what does end up happening. If you're Cammy, if you're Seti, if you're Harry here, I'm trying to think, you know, what can you possibly change? They're just such in a difficult position with the third parties that come through that even coming from that victory royale, knowing how to, you know, successfully play these last matches of day 2, it's a tough one.
So Mirstash, Shaw, I'm just gonna call him Shaw's. I mean Kaz, but they're both landing here. I think Mirstash goes with the win here because off spawn, cause look, he's gonna get this gun first. Yep, he gets the gun, he wins it. Yep, his teammates kill another one. Kaz. And they just killed his entire team. Mirstash goes down though, which is unusual. But he got insta pressured, so I think Kami's like third. But this trio right here has been the most right now.
Doing what they can to hold their ground.
But if they get third-partied here yet again super early on, I love the fact that we saw them in the last match just full-on disengaged. Don't even bother trying to extend this fight. Podesai, though, he's got a force to be reckoned with here, but doesn't stand a chance up against Ari. It's going to bring him down. Cammy, though, from behind Akira with a surprise factor, and Ari now left and defend just barely a sliver of HP.
The biggest issue, there's a whole other trio coming in to join the party. Even though Akira Exu's Podesai are going back to back with Kami, Seti, Hari, now with a whole other trio looking to finish it up. This is just a repeat of what we saw yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
This is a tragedy as well.
This game has a lot more kills off
When you really
spawn.
boil it all down here at Takata, it's only Ari that is left to survive from that initial engagement. And he's going to have to sit tight for a while because it really does seem as though Bifro's team is fully aware there's still one member straggling around here, and they want to find him.
Yeah, Brannick, Kaiser's, Dynus continuing with that. You saw how quickly they were able to get from their drop spot to the third party. I mean, that was
Yeah, that into the drop shot into the third party. They went straight in like they got their guns and then went straight in to go fight. They got the gun and then they killed him.
Feeling confident going into this match with their place on the leaderboard, but also having 3 elims off the rip to back it up. How did that even happen?
Yeah, that was a good shot.
It's going to be the starting point
Whoops.
here with Pierre Wax. Big cleanup, and he just
And they
continues
just
it as well,
destroy.
finding that secondary elimination onto Fastro.
Like they got their weapons, they were quick, they got out, and then killed him, which is actually really good.
Maybe Volko's team was hoping to try and catch them a little bit more off guard here, but Wax and Ping, when it comes to clutch scenarios, especially for Malabuka's team, they've been delivering for the most part.
Yes, they have, and I mean, just gave them some free surge now in Game 9, so we'll see if they continue doing that in the last few matches as iDrop, Sky, and Scroll are in a bit of a hustle themselves. Starkist and Frizzy on the defensive inside the box as iDrop now has to make the decision as an aggressive trio. Are they gonna just look for separate angles to try and find an opening? Or are they gonna go for a fully aggressive play? Normally when you have potential third parties like Vanya and the surrounding areas, you want to just take these soft fights. You don't want to fully go on in, because even if you end up winning the fight, if you lose one of your trio and the third party comes through, it's just not gonna end well. So I think damage is what they're looking for.
It's just such a quick extension.
Parties like Vanya and the surrounding areas, you want to just take these soft
so
fights. You don't want to fully go
aggressing,
on in, because
so they're
even if you end up winning the
full heights, and it's the fact that they decided to strike before Vanya's team has actually gotten into position, because all day yesterday we saw Vanya, Pixie, Thaddeus, they were typically the ones engaging to start things off with the teams at Hopeful Heights, but now iDrop caught off guard entirely. Monet was just stealthy as ever, waiting on that turtle for him to rotate through.
Gotta be careful now, as eyes are on them. iDrop having gotten eliminated leaves Sky and Scroll in a bit more of a panic here, but the good news is, I was gonna say good news, I mean there's not much, honestly. They're in the middle of a sandwich that is not gonna be easy to get out of.
Not the only ones trying to escape. Veno, Flixie, Vika, they've got Robin in their sights yet again. They want to be the ultimate janitors here at Lost Lake. One elimination already underneath Vika's belt. And even though Flixie and Veno still like a chance to cover some shields here, Haijo just immediately jumped the moment he was trying to break away, just separated for a second too long from his team, and Vika certainly not someone to get caught out with.